G'day and welcome back to my hobby room. Now, I've been kept awake at night and I worry about things. And why is scale modelling, the hobby, getting so complicated? Whatever happened? Like when I was a kid, you used to walk down to the bloody newsagent or even Woolworths, right? You'd buy yourself an Airfix kit and you'd go home and you'd build it, and, whack some decals on it. You might even paint it if you had the skills and you had the paints, you didn't always. And then later on, you might have progressed to buying a little airbrush or something simple, and you'd paint it and it'd be enamel paints. Really easy. They'd go down well. It wasn't much problem, right? Glued it together with Airfix glue. There wasn't all this fanciness. Who worried about bloody panel lines? Who gave a shit? It didn't matter. It was so good. It was a hobby and it was so much fun. And now there's photo etch and there's resin parts and there's aftermarket this and aftermarket that. It is exhausting. So I want to know what went wrong. Let's find out. Roll the music. Now, before you start yelling, hypocrite, Harry, you buy all this stuff and you do all this stuff and you scratch all this and you 3D print that, and aren't you guilty? Well, sort of the stuff I do is actually fairly minimal. It's more construction, all right? And as far as the painting goes, I don't go berserk on panel lines and pre-shading and black bastarding or anything like that. I don't give a shit, okay? I just paint it and I add minimal bit of sort of weathering or effects, and that's it. And I like that kind of clean look. I don't need this Spanish rusted to buggery look. I don't care, okay? I can do it, and there are times that I have done it, but it's not really what I want to do. I mean, the most fun I ever had was building the submarine. Well, actually, no, it's not a submarine. What is it? Oh, it ended up being a submarine. It's a little destroyer. It's a little 1700. I think it's a little Tamiya destroyer or something like one of those little tiny little waterline ones, right? And, I knocked that together in an afternoon, and I did put some photo etch and everything on, but I kind of just whacked it on as junk. I didn't care how it went on, and tied a few bits of string on and everything. It was all very easy. I didn't really need that, and then I painted it black, and then one colour, which was white, and I just gently airbrushed white at various angles to pick out the details. That was it. The whole thing took me hours. In fact, I did a whole video on it, on how easy that was, and then it won me a silver place in a competition. That was like what we used to do. We used to have fun. We used to use our imagination. We didn't always build exactly the thing out of the box. We weren't all worried about research. Research was going to the library, getting a book with some pictures on it, going, oh, okay, that's what it looked like. Or if you were lucky, there'd be an air show, or, I'd go down to the harbour often with my father and we'd see ships coming in. So I knew a lot about ships, knew a lot about battleships and sailing ships because I saw them and I walked on them, right? So I had a lot of knowledge there. And Dad had knowledge from the war as well. So, that's why I built Warspite. Dad had walked on it. He knew the ship. He could tell me things about it that you wouldn't get out of books. He'd been there. He'd seen it. And that's the thing. There were connections to our models. There were things that were basically in our lives. There were aircraft that came out, and then the kits came out, and we got all excited. I mean, today, they're all kind of grey, or maybe they might be beige. Whatever happened to all the sort of fun stuff of the things? I mean, we still remember the Spitfire. Spitfires were around. We used to see them flying about. Well, not everywhere, but, at shows and things like that. And Spitfires existed in our psyche. They were in all the movies we watched in the war. Now, Spitfires, you guys are so far removed from it. 50 years, 60 years. It's 70 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. I think it's close to 70 years now, isn't it? So this is the thing. We were connected to the subjects. They weren't that long ago. And the kits that we got were simple and we could build them fairly easily. And they were fun. The technology was simple then. But, I mean, even as I've shown, some of those old Airfix sailing ship kits, the Schnellboat kit, the Airfix Schnellboat kit, it's good. The quality's good. There's nothing wrong with it. And it builds up well. And, you can go snigger, oh, it's old, it's not Tamiya. It was very good. For its day, it was excellent. And today, it still stands up. Right? Compares to a lot of things that are being punched out. And I think that's the thing. I think model makers got sloppy now. They've gone, oh, look, we'll we'll tell them it's slide molded, and we'll put tons of parts and tons of options on there, right? And then we'll add photo etch, because we'll tell them it has to have photo etch, right? Oh yeah, everything's got to have photo etch, okay. And then, once you've got one bit of photo etch, you think, oh, maybe I have to go to get the aftermarket set. So I'm going to have to buy the resin interior this, the resin exterior that, whatever. And then I'm going to need to get the photo etch upgrade set. And you do all this work. And I've done it. I'm guilty. And you do all this work, and then by the time it's painted, it hardly looks any different. What are we going to do? Let's have a think about that. I think we did it to ourselves. I think the baby boomers and Gen X are responsible. We got smart. We got computers. We got the technology. We took over the world. We're going to improve things. We're going to make things better. I mean, in the 60s, well, it was make love, not war. There was all the trick stuff and the drugs. All the fun sort of things that we did. The music was terrific, right? Not like the music today. No. Sorry. Music today is just unimaginative. Generated, synthesized, homogenized, spat out. I mean, give me some good rock and roll with mistakes in it. And, and just people screaming and yelling and pouring their hearts out into the music. That was what I liked. Give me classical. I mean, I tell you, an old bastard, I'm listening to Bach a lot of the time, right? Bach, Beatles and Beethoven. When did Beatles become classic music? When did bloody Led Zeppelin become classic rock? Zepp, goodness me. When did Pink Floyd become, old and classic? I don't know. I know my core audience understand. If you're not in that age group, you go, what the hell is this baby boomer on about? Well, okay, you won't get it. But I think my core audience, because most of the people who watch the channel are my age or a little bit younger, a little bit older, in my age group, old farts. And we know. It's just, we're obviously out of touch with this synthesized, wired up, plugged in generation. We didn't have interweb. We weren't staring at friggin' phones all the time, okay? We got out, we did things, we exercised, we got around, we built bloody tree houses, we had gangs, we did things. I remember designing and building whole sets of armour one year in the school holidays. We all built knights' armours and helmets, and we went and had battles, and we jousted on our bloody push bikes, right? And the next year we did Romans, we built all that sort of stuff. We did all this, and we had a tree house across the road in a vacant lot. Up there we built a tree house, we built a fort. And then the other guys from the other street, they built one down from us, and and we used to have these mock battles. We did all this stuff, and then we did scale modelling as well. All right, especially for me, I was sick a lot, chronic bronchitis. So when I was home, I used to model all the time, my days off school. Luckily, I was a bit of a smart bugger. Some say smart ass, but smart bugger. I mean, I did fairly well at school. So Mum would go and get my homework or whatever, and I'd do it at home. Like, she'd make me do the homework at home while I'm sick. If you don't get straight A's, you're going to get strapped and sent to your room. That was it. I was told I had to get straight A's, so I worked my little tit off. I did well most things. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, art, and not English. Amazingly, my English wasn't very good at all, my writing. Later on, they found I had slight dyslexia, and that was the problem. And trying to make me write, writing, was not working because my brain was working so quickly and trying to scroll it all down. It was just illegible. It was like doctor's writing. I should have been a doctor. I had the TE score to go in to be a doctor from school to go to university. Didn't want to. All that blood, all those people whinging and complaining about their sicknesses. Oh, bugger that. No. So eventually they found, printing. Because the thing was with my drawing and all that modelling, it's slow, it's precise, it's stuff like that, okay? That slows my mind down and calms me. And that's what I enjoy about scale modelling, is the fact that it stops you being in beta. Go, 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 right? Beta rhythms, your body's got rhythms, right? Beta rhythms are go, run, do, fight, right? You've got to come out of beta. You can't be stuck this screen, looking at this screen, doing that thing, social media, running around, driving here, going there. And yet that's the life for so many people. They're stuck in beta all the time. Your body can't heal in beta, right? It doesn't do a lot of things. You won't sleep well if you're stuck in beta all the time. You have to get to alpha. Now, a lot of people go to the gym, go for a big long run, have a wank, whatever. That will get you to alpha. Music's great. And I mean, I found music kind of later on, really, because I couldn't sing, as you know, you've seen it in my videos. But I played a piano and kind of just had a natural aptitude towards it. I went, oh, I like this. And then off I went. I had lessons for a month and off I went. And then I got a guitar and then I got a violin and then I got a banjo and it all went to shit. Scale modelling takes me to alpha. At least it did until we got all this aftermarket. We have to do everything, But I've minimised. This is what I've done. I've minimised. The recent Sunderland build, sure, I scratch built an interior and everything, but that was zoning out to me. That was just, I wasn't buying aftermarket. I was thinking, what could I do? How could I do that? I got into the moment. I made little pieces. I made little changes. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoy that modification scratching. As things happen with 3D, because my 3D printer's on order now, I'm getting a good one, not with resin, I'll be designing and then producing 3D parts. This is all creativity, and this is all stuff that causes algorithms. That helps you relax and disassociate from all the pains and worries. And especially in my aging years, pain is a problem. My broken arm now, I've got a number of things. My gout plays up my knee. I can go on. If you're an old bugger, you just start falling apart. So I'm doing what I can to manage that, but modelling is an escape for that. So as I say, with the Sunderland, I only really put in the barrels. I didn't need to. I just wanted to. Okay, I didn't have to, but I chose to put them in. They're not that hard to put in. I'm very good at doing that, right? Very experienced. Okay, so I put the metal barrels into the part of the video. And sure, I built the scratch interior. When it came to actually the final painting and everything, it was really quick. It wasn't that hard. I picked a very simple scheme and off I went. I had to buy aftermarket decals, but that's just a thing because the decals were wrecked in the kit, okay? So I didn't put a lot of aftermarket in there. Oh, okay, the propellers, but I wanted to see the three different kinds. I could have put the kit propellers on there and I could have just basically moulded. Forgotten already. That's how I used to do things. I could have moulded another one. I had three. I could have moulded the fourth one. I could have done that. Or as I was going with those little spinning ones. Right? These were solutions. They were simple. They weren't that complicated. They didn't cost me anything. David sent me those spinning things. The rest of it I made out of scratch. And the kit, I bought the photo etched interior. Waste of time. Complete waste of time. Okay, so that was a case where I got sucked in and I bought the whole photo etch. Waste of time. No need for it. If you've got the Sunderland and you want to do like I did, don't buy the photo etch. It's just not worth. It's like about 3 shekels. Waste of money. I did get a mask, but really I didn't need that mask. You can mask yourself. You can mark things out. You can do it. I'm going to do that in the next video. I'm going to go, don't buy a mask. You can do it yourself. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. As it was, because the mask didn't fit the Sunderland, it was for the wrong model, the wrong kit, I ended up manually masking and working out most of it myself. Could have done the whole thing myself. This is the thing. You don't need aftermarket. Not at all. You can build out of the box. You can do a little bit of change and a little bit of, tiny bit of scratch work or modification yourself. You'll have a great model. You'll thoroughly enjoy doing it. You can paint it to whatever level. You want to waste all your time weathering it and everything. Sure, if you enjoy that. I know there's people that, for them, that's like an alpha thing. They get into all that weathering and doing all that. Fine. But don't think you have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to use all the photo etch. This is what I did with the Gross Fay. I started to realise, here's all this photo etch, and I couldn't see the point of it. It didn't improve the model. It wasn't necessary. I only put on what I needed. 80% of the photo etch I didn't use. But I've kept it as spares. It's handy every now and then. I go, I need a little door or I need a little widget. And I've got it there as a little spare part I can put on, right? But I don't need it. You can build kits out of the box. Lots of kits you can build out of the box, and they're fine. And you can enjoy the hobby again. So if you're getting stressed out all the time thinking, there's all this stuff I have to do, and all these people tell me I have to buy this product, buy that product. No, you don't. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to buy a cordless airbrush just because I'm using them. No, although they are kind of handy, and they're cheaper than a compressor and an airbrush. So there's that. So in some ways, if you're going to go the airbrush route, a cordless airbrush is easy. It's really cheap, and it works for 90% of what you need to do. So yes, if you're thinking of buying an airbrush, consider a cordless one. Spend less money, it'll still do all what you want to do, and there's less mucking around. So there you go. You don't need photo etch, really. It's only rare times you're going to need it. You don't need all these resin things and everything. You don't. All the stuff they put in cockpits, and then they cover it up and put the bloody canopy on. Gone. Never seen again. I mean, do it once, so you get the experience. Like I built a tank interior once. But honestly, long term, you don't need it. It's just a money grab for the generation that's gone, we were retired now, we've got this spare money, and when we were young, we were kids, we didn't have much money to spend on our models. We could only afford to buy the models, we couldn't buy all this crap. Gee, now I've got money, I can buy this crap. And so the manufacturer's going, ooh, here's a ready market of stupid old people. Let's make them buy crap. So, in conclusion, relax and enjoy your modelling. If you're not relaxing, if you're not having fun, then change hobbies because it's not for you. You know, don't think you have to do what I do. Don't think you have to do what anybody on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere, or when you go to these model shows, you go, oh, I can never do a motorbike like that. Well, maybe you can't, but you could do something better. Find what you're good at. Find what really, pushes your jellies. Okay? Find what is joyful for you, what relaxes you, and that is what you'll come back to doing. I'm about to rig the St. Louis. Now, that's actually relaxing for me. It was a bit stressful when I did the bounty because I had to film it, right, and try and show you and explain what I was doing. The bits when I wasn't filming, I thoroughly enjoyed. I really like rigging. Rigging is sort of like knitting for me, I suppose, or crocheting. I kind of just get into the zone and I run things and run lines. Eventually, you're not even thinking. You just kind of just repeat and run. And if you've got a good method, and I do, that is not, that basically doesn't tangle you up, it's just a process and you go through it and I zone out and I really enjoy it. But it's not for everyone. Find out what the hobby is for you. Maybe it doesn't need to have photo etch. Maybe it doesn't need to have resin. Maybe you don't need any aftermarket. Maybe you don't even need to paint your models. Maybe all you want to do is build them, put them on a shelf. That's fine. So, whatever you like is fine. That's the hobby for you. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. As usual, push buttons, because apparently there's an algorithm. There's an algorithm that eats things, right? So helpfully push these buttons and then somehow they put adverts in here and somehow I get paid. I don't know. It's all a mystery to me. It's an absolute mystery. I don't know how it works. And of course, if you really want to help me out, you can buy me a curry. That'd be really good. That's instant. And I can eat tonight. All right. That's it for now. It's goodbye from Australia. And it's hooroo from Harry and Annie.